Welcome to the public hearing of the Recreation, Parks, and Cultural Affairs Committee on July 9th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Call the meeting to order at 7:01. Roll call, we have Mr. Doug Sutton, Ms. Nicole Eady, Ms. Lisa Shanahan, and myself, and we have a quorum. We're going to discuss, we're going to move on to discussion, right? Or public participation. And Mr. Lopez is with us as well, Johan Lopez. So we're going to move on to.
Charlie, I think you just want to open the public hearing, right?
Yeah, so we're opening the public hearing.
Ms. Larcella, you're unmuted.
And before Ms. Larcella begins, Ms. Heather Dunn is with us too, just joined. Ms. Larcella?
Yes, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good evening, Chair Young and members of council and staff, Ken Hughes and others that I cannot see on my little phone. For the record, my name is Diane Lauricella, 21 Little Fox Lane. I decided to speak tonight in general, but because I'm speaking as a member of the Sierra Club. And in Connecticut, the Connecticut chapter, of which I was once a member of that board of directors, and I'm a former group chair when we had a Fairfield County group for about 3 or 4 years back in the 80s and 90s. We're on record for opposing expansion of fracked gas facilities throughout Connecticut. The reason I decided to speak tonight has to do with mainly the need for expansion of those two facilities because they're going to be connected to schools. That is my understanding. Mr. Lopez is on this call and in this committee. Has to do with a bigger issue of policy as related to school energy projects and the lack of clean energy commitment. I have quite a professional and advocacy background in this and have tried for years to speak to the Land Use and Building Management Committee, both when Mr. Livingston was chair and also most recently when Ms. Smith is chair now, and also the staff related to that committee. It has been a stumbling block by this city. And I will further clarify my reasons for this opposition. I mean, I know you all will more than likely approve this, but I wanted you to think about the reason. This is fracked gas. It's not natural gas. It is coming up from Pennsylvania, where there have been scientific studies of the effects of fracked gas on the communities where they derive the fracked gas. There are a lot of discussions about Governor Hochul and Governor Lamont once opposing expanding pipelines. Now, because they're being threatened by the federal government, they're thinking of reopening additional pipelines. I'm not totally opposed to just cutting off the use of gas because you need to gradually get your clean energy facilities on board and people understanding it. But in this case, this seems to be building up, placing gas facilities in our schools that are being renovated or constructed out of whole cloth, like Norrick High School. And I think that if we're truly going to be a green city, resilient city, sustainable city, before we automatically have a deal with Eversource and Yankee Gas to add gas to our school facilities for heating, energy, etc., we should really have that discussion about what other alternatives. And quite frankly, we rarely have a full rooftop or carport or ground mount solar. I know you all will say, hey, we do have this. Hardly, compared to other cities and towns that I know of. And I have given this city many references to check out. Danbury, Newtown, other places are doing much more than we are. with our public facilities and clean energy. So I'm opposed to you granting this. I'm sure you will anyway, but the reasons for it, I'd like you to start thinking about, because I don't like greenwashing. And so whoever's listening on this call, it appears on one hand, we're a green city. On the other hand, we have allowed a lot of expansion of gas facilities and pipes throughout the city. And to our school systems, I think there's a better alternative. So I thank you for listening, and good night.
Do we have anyone else?
If anybody would like to speak that does not have an item on the agenda, can you please raise your hand and I will unmute you?
Hello. Am I unmuted?
You are.
Awesome. Hi, this is Danny Loftus-George from the Norwalk Conservatory of the Arts. Two quick things. One is I was just looking over the agenda. I believe we were supposed to be on it, but I don't see us on it tonight. I just wanted to make sure we were on that agenda before you get started. I'm so sorry to waste your time.
That's
Yeah,
the
Danny,
next,
you're meeting-
that you're coming up. I'm sorry. go
I
ahead.
apologize. Thank you. Thank you very much. And secondly, obviously I read the agenda items and I never really comment on public forums like this, but I just want to say that, you know, I understand the need for the gas easements and everything going on. And I understand that the committee here is put together for a reason, for your expertise. So thank you very much for being you, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Forgive me for using my company's ID on Zoom. I'm not able to change my name here. My name is Michael Mastriani. I'm here at the request or invitation of Ms. Rebecca Kovacs of the Parks and Recreation Department.
That's the next meeting, Madam Chair.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I in the wrong meeting?
Yes
It's
and
gonna-
no.
it's gonna
coming
start
up.
at 7:30.
Okay,
7:30 it
it's
starts.
in a few minutes. We're sorry about that.
Then I will let you be, and I will.
Hold on and we'll be, yes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Sure, no problem. I think, is there anyone here to speak regarding the public hearing item portion of the agenda? I think everybody else, Delene, is probably for the regular meeting.
Yeah, nobody else is raising their hand right now.
All right. So Darren, it's almost 10 after.
Yeah, Darlene, Madam Chairwoman, I think you can close the public meeting and move on to the action item at this point.
Okay. So we will call the public hearing officially closed at 7:09 PM, and we will move on to item 4, the discussion item for the public hearing. 4A, the City of Norwalk and the Department of Recreation and Parks invites the general public to hear on the proposed grant of 3,360 plus square feet gas utility easement by the City of Norwalk in favor of Eversource Energy for the purpose of constructing, operating, maintaining, repairing, and replacing a regular facility station and related appurtenance on southeast side of land owned by City of Norwalk at Strawberry Hill Avenue. Tax assessor map block and lot number noted near where it abuts William Street. And B, should I read them both together?
I think you can.
Okay, and B?
Yes, you can read them both together, Madam Chairwoman, but they're being read in the context of authorizing the granting of the easement.
Okay. B, the City of Norwalk Recreation and Parks Department invites the general public to hear the proposed grant of 100 plus square feet gas utility easement by the City of Norwalk in favor of Eversource Energy for the purpose of constructing, operating, maintaining, repairing, and replacing a regular facility station and related appurtenance on west side of land owned by the City of Norwalk at 15 Calf Pasture Beach Road number 3, Norwalk. Tax assessor map and block number noted near where it abuts Calf Pasture Beach Road. Someone to remove the items? Thank you, Mr. Lopez. And so, Mr. Callahan, are you gonna speak to that or?
I can speak on this, Madam Chair.
Okay.
So a few meetings ago, these items were brought before the board. We did have a brief discussion on these items. The city has been working for many months now. Department of Recreation and Parks, Department of Public Works, and our legal department have been working with Eversource for the granting or the possible granting of these two easements. We're comfortable with what's before you. We do have the team here to answer any questions if you guys have any additional questions. These are, gas utility easements. One is near Nathan Hale Middle School, and the other is near Marvin School. And just as a note, these aren't being installed for the sole purpose of gas to the schools. These are upgrades to the neighborhood gas system.
Yeah, Madam Chair, Mr. Wilbur Gyron is also on the line, has worked extensively with Eversource. Effectively, this is infrastructure that is to enhance the safety of the gas distribution system. And as Mr. Hughes said, that there really is no connection to, there's no different connection to the school than there would be to the connection to any other property that is using natural gas. They were required to update based on new regulations, their systems to enhance the safety of them, and that's what they're doing. And they needed a location to do it, and I think the original location that was proposed was the city was not desirable to the city, and this was sort of kind of the alternative location that was more palatable to locating this infrastructure.
Mr. Giron, do you have anything else you'd like to share overall?
Yes, just one more thing I'd like to add is this infrastructure that's being proposed at these potential easements is just to regulate and monitor the existing gas that's in the neighborhood already. They're not looking to add any additional gas as a result.
Committee members have any questions? No? Mr. Lopez?
Thank you, Chairman. Quick question. Are risk assessments required before placing gas infrastructure on public land at all?
I'm not sure I understand the context, but in generally speaking, as far as Eversource is concerned, they would be required to, the installation would be in accordance with the utility industry standards, as far as the installation and the design and so forth and so on. If there was another context that was intended, I just would need a little more detail on that.
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering if it poses any sort of, or I think you answered the question earlier that it doesn't. If it poses any sort of environmental risk to the nearby areas, but I think you mentioned that it does not because there won't be any direct connection to them, right?
Yeah, again, yeah, no, it shouldn't impose any more environmental risk than any other infrastructure. It should be in line with, the design and installation would be, in line with all other utilities that they are, utilizing or replacing in the course of distributing gas.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I should just add at the moment, we have been going back and forth negotiating an acquisition price for these easements. Eversource initially offered around $13,000 for the easement at William Street, which is about 3,300 square feet, I think 3,360 square feet. That was roughly like something came out to roughly based on assessed value. The assessor's value at market was roughly, I don't know, $2 or $3 a square foot. We obviously rejected that. They came back at about 18,000, which I think was maybe $4 or $5 a square foot. And our most recent conversation, we were able to settle on something that I can recommend, which is $25,000 a square foot. It means $25,000 total, which works out to about $7.50 a square foot. I did speak with an MAI that we use on our tax appeals. They felt that just land value alone at full fee value was anywhere between $6 and $10 a square foot. It is fair that there would be some sort of discounting because it's an easement. Although in this circumstance, the easement is pretty encumbering. And so I think that the $7.50 a square foot represents I really strongly feel is that the $7.50 a square foot is a very appropriate value to accept. On the other one, they're offering $1,500. It's really it's a 10 by 10 easement area. It's 100 square feet. That's well over $7.50 a square foot. But that offer is really more of a cost of doing business offer, understanding that, you know, $200 or $250 is not gonna you know, really get anyone very far. So, you know, they are giving us value for these easements, and they're giving us reasonable value. It's really the sum and substance of what I want to report.
Thank you. Ms. Edie?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Hi, Darren. I'm sorry. I'm just a little confused.
Well, no worries.
Don't give it to me in layman's terms.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry,
Where-
I have a tendency of overcomplicating things.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. We say infrastructure. So I saw pictures of this. Are we actually building like pipeline?
No, all we are doing is granting them land rights
Okay,
to
to access.
construct, operate, maintain, repair, and replace. So they're going to install it at their cost. They have an ongoing obligation to maintain it at their cost, and when the time comes, if it needs to be replaced or the easement needs to be abandoned, they need to remove it or replace it, all at their own cost. The only thing before this committee is a request or an authorization to approve the land rights so that they can engage in all those activities. Does that make more sense?
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Ms. Dunn?
Hi, is there any kind of insurance as well as the fee in case they, you know, destroy curbing or sidewalks or something that's not, I've seen a lot of construction done lately that's left kind of a mess afterwards. I just want to make sure that we have the ability to charge them if that's the case.
Yeah, so that's a great question. Director Dunn. The answer is generally yes. So Eversource does not have, they're self-insured. They're fully self-insured. So they don't have any, they accept all risk on their balance sheet. We will request and require indemnification from Eversource. They do have a balance sheet that is very large, and that would have the assets to back it up absent insurance. And we will push to require their contractors to and I believe we'll obtain it, their contractors to within the easement to maintain insurance coverage consistent with our insurance coverage requirements generally, and to name the city of Norwalk as an additional insured on those policies. So that is we're working through the negotiation of the easement agreement, but that is the form and substance of what we followed in the past regarding risk and risk mitigation, and I expect that we'll get to the same point here.
Any further questions? Okay, since there are none, we will close public hearing at 7:20 p.m. So thank you. I think the next, I'm sorry.
Did you want to call for a vote, Madam Chair, to authorize the granting of the
I'm sorry.
easements?
I was just gonna close it all. Okay. So we're gonna vote on A and B together since I read them together.
To authorize, you have to grant the
I
easements
will
on
say,
it.
so we will vote to authorize items A and B on the agenda. All in favor? I'm sorry, Lisa. Okay. I'm sorry, Lisa, did you have a question or are you voting in favor? I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand before. I think she's voting in favor.
I think she's voting in favor.
Okay.
Yeah,
all in
I'm
favor?
voting in favor, yeah.
Okay. Opposed? Abstentions? One abstention, Mr. Sutton? Okay.
I'd just like to thank the members of the committee for addressing this tonight. I know that Eversource is anxious to get moving on the project before the winter season to make their infrastructure more robust. It's a step in that direction. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Wilbur.
Thank you all very much. Have a good evening.
All right, so we are going to close the meeting. Make a motion to adjourn. Ms. Dunn? All in favor, I guess we're all abstaining. We're all ready to go, but all right, so we stay on now or do we wait till 7:30? Welcome to the special meeting of the Recreation Parks and Cultural Affairs Committee of July 9th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. We call the meeting to order at 7:30. In attendance, Ms. Nicole Eady, Sir Doug Sutton, Mr. Johan Lopez, Ms. Heather Dunn, Ms. Lisa Shanahan, and myself. So we have a quorum. Item 3, acceptance of the minutes of the regular meeting of June 11, 2025. Would someone please move that item?
I can move it.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Do we have any corrections, changes, anything to the minutes? Nope. All in favor of accepting the minutes? Thank you. Thank you. We'll move on to public participation. Mr. Lean, is there anyone on who would like to speak?
Yes, Ms. Larchello, you're unmuted.
Well, thank you. For the record, my name is Diane Lauricella. I just happen to be hanging in there, admiring all the good work the council's trying to do. And I thought I'd speak to a couple of one item in favor. Good evening, Ms. Chair and members of the council and staff. I first wanted to say I really admire that we've gotten back to the garden, back to the stage in Norwalk. They are terrific. Maybe I'm dating myself. I'm too young to have gone to Woodstock too, Mr. Stowers, but I like a lot of the music this band plays, so I recommend it. But the main reason I wanted to stay on is I want to say that I'm so happy that Norwalk Conservancy came to Norwalk. And I heartily applaud. I'm sure I will be applauding, and I highly recommend that you approve the Broadway. I don't have the agenda in my hand, so I don't remember what it is called, but Broadway in the Park at Lockwood Matthews Mansion in August, I think is, with their students, is fantastic. Sounds fantastic. I've already put it on my calendar. I'm telling people to come, and I think it would be terrific, showing off talent of younger people, but also bringing even more culture to our fine city. So I just wanted to give them a shout out and also to say, please approve this. It sounds terrific. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Larchello. Ms. Cece?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, Diane Cece, Olmsted Place. I may be coming up as ENNA again from another meeting, but I'm speaking on behalf of myself, not the association. Sorry about that. I need to toggle back and forth. I actually want to speak tonight relative to the item you just approved, which was your minutes regarding last month's meeting. I had wanted to speak again after the public comments last meeting, but the chair and staff did not recognize me raising my hand after I spoke. Whereas, you know, when we're in person, we have an opportunity where we could kind of jump up and make a point of order. But in any case, I wanted to I didn't have an opportunity to address the comments of Councilwoman Ayers in suggesting that my comments were insulting and that that she accused me of, for some reason, of picking on a particular applicant. That couldn't be further from the case. And since I wasn't allowed to speak, immediately after the meeting, I sent an email to Chair Young and asked her to share that with all of you and with the council. And I made a specific request that my comments to clarify not only my position, but to address that attack on me, that I asked for that to be included in these minutes that you approved tonight. Albeit that they can't be a part of the official record, they would be a part of this record tonight, so that they're in there, having now that you've approved those minutes. So I am hopeful that that letter got passed on to all of you. I think it clarifies both my position and support for the event in question itself, and also clarifies the attack on me as to whether or not I was picking on a particular item. I also suggested in there that I have a long history of reviewing recreation and parks use of our public land, and going back many mayors and many directors, and but I think only Ken Hughes, he's been there since he was like 16 or something. But folks here can certainly attest to the fact that I often raise questions on activities that our public land is being used for, and I believe that I have that right. And I ask them on a broad range of different types of activities, and so there was nothing unusual in this. Ms. Ayers also suggested that I hadn't asked the same questions of other events that evening, and I clarified in my letter as well that the other one that most closely related to the heritage one is an event that I have personally attended in the past. And so I had personal experience with that and didn't feel that I needed any further clarification. So I just want to make another request on the record that I don't want to call it a rebuttal, I'll just say it's a response to Councilwoman Ayers' comments, that I would request that they be made a part of your record. And I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cece. Anyone else?
We do not.
Okay. So we move on. There's no old business. We move on to new business. 6A, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to enter into an agreement for the use of Matthews Park and the immediate surrounding grounds by the Norwalk Conservatory for their Broadway in the Park to be held on Saturday, August 16th from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., approximately 400 people. Someone move the item? Thank you, Mr. Sutton. What do we have here?
Mr. George is supposed to be available.
Yes, I am here. I, like an idiot, came to the last meeting. I am so sorry. I'm so, what an idiot I am.
You are
I am
not an
here.
idiot.
No, I try to pride myself on being so meticulous. I'm so sorry. So yes, I'm here. We got approved the last meeting for the 23rd and 30th. We're looking at adding an additional date for the 16th to produce a third concert in Lockwood Matthews. The hope was always to have a third date, but I had quite a bit of discussion with Rebecca to see if it was possible, and we were able to work it out to make that happen.
Okay. Any comments from Mr. Stowers and Mr. Hughes?
Well, you know, they've been high in demand, and they've been away for a season or two, and we're happy to have them back.
And just to expand on what Ms. Larcella mentioned, it was great to have them. It's good to have the Norwalk Conservatory in the city. We see the young people walking around quite a bit throughout that part of town.
Oh God, hopefully they're on their best behavior.
Oh,
but
yes, they are. They
Okay,
absolutely
good.
are.
Awesome.
It just brings some vibrancy to the city. It's a good thing, and we're glad you're here, and much success with your shows.
Thank you very much. We're very blessed to be here.
Absolutely. Any comments from committee members? Okay, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
You too. 6B, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to enter into an agreement for the use of Calf Pasture Beach and immediate surrounding grounds by Project Purple for their Steps for a Cure to be held on Saturday, October 25th, 2025, from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Setup time by 7 a.m. with tear down by 1:30 p.m. Approximately 350 people. Would someone move the item? Thank you, Ms. Dunn.
Hi, this
Yeah.
is Christina DeSimone from Project Purple. Thank you so much, for taking the time to have us on your agenda tonight. This is actually for a colleague of Lowe's, and he's very involved in the Norwalk community, and one of his colleagues reached out to us to partner with us and put on this walk in honor of him since he lost his life, unfortunately, to pancreatic cancer. And that is what our nonprofit Project Purple is about, a mission of a world without pancreatic cancer. So, we're very thrilled to put this on at Calf Pasture Beach.
Okay. Any questions or comments, Mr. Hughes and Mr. Sowers? No?
No.
Any questions from the committee members? So thank you, Ms. DeSimone, for doing this. I know this can be a very touchy thing sometimes, but it's a good thing that you're doing. And we just hope there's good weather and you have a great turnout.
Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you all have a lovely evening.
You do the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
6C, authorize the mayor, Harry
Wait,
W.
Darlene, do we have to vote?
We didn't. All in favor? I'm sorry. Okay, unanimous. C, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to enter into an agreement for the use of Brian McMahon High School, Casa Grande Field, and immediate surrounding grounds by Brian McMahon High School band parents for their cavalcade of sound to be held on Saturday, August 16th, 2025, from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Approximately 1,500 people. Would someone move the item? Glasses. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Who do we have here?
Amy Hoskins, and so speak on behalf
Ms.
of.
Hodgkins?
Yes, hi, I'm here.
How are you? Can you just tell us a little bit about this event?
Sure, this is an annual event that's been going on in Norwalk for probably 25 plus years. And this is our second year where we're combining this festival with Norwalk High School because they do not have a field. So it's a combination event, and we will so far having 11 bands throughout Connecticut, and I believe Port Chester is coming from New York. And it's an overall great event for all of the students.
Any comments, Mr. Stowers, Mr. Hughes?
No, annual event, it's a good cause, and we have to combine events because of Norwalk High School rebuilding. So this is good. This is good for people to share their facilities at a time like this. So it's great.
Any questions or comments from committee members? Ms. Dunn?
Darlene, do I need to recuse myself from this? I didn't realize it was Norwalk High too.
I don't think so.
All right.
No,
Thanks.
you'll be fine.
Okay.
So, Ms. Hodges, I think this is a great idea. I mean, maybe, maybe the stars have aligned that the school is being built and it's kind of forced the two high schools to come together, but it really sounds like it might be a pretty interesting event. You said your second year or first year?
Well, this is our second year combining with Norwalk High School, but this event has been going on for at least 25
Yeah.
plus years between both schools. So yeah, we're super excited.
Yes, I think that's a great thing. And so other school, you said maybe some other school would be participating, other city or?
We have 11 other bands so far that are going to come throughout the state of Connecticut. And I believe the band from Port Chester, New York is also coming.
Will this be their first time coming or did they attend?
No, most of these bands, we have a following and they love to come to our school and they signed up nice and early, so we're ready to go.
Sounds exciting. All right, all in favor? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. D, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to enter into an agreement for the use of Matthews Park and the immediate surrounding grounds by LGBT Center of New York and Wheelhouse events for their Cycle for a Cause to be held on Saturday, September 20th, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., approximately 100 people. Someone move the item, please. Ms. Edie, thank you. And who do we have here? Is that Digital Wave?
Good evening. Yes, my name is Michael Mastriani. Forgive me for identifying as my daytime company, but I joined this meeting too quickly. Thank you very much for your attention, Madam Chair, illustrious members of the Town Council, and excellent citizens of the City of Norwalk. Wheelhouse Solutions represents the LGBT Center of New York on Cycle for the Cause, which is a 3-day bike ride from Boston to New York City, raising money and awareness for the prevention of HIV and AIDS in the Boston and New York LGBT communities. This would be our second year that we are asking to use part of Matthews Park parking lot as a final rest stop on day 2 before concluding our second day of biking in Stamford, Connecticut. We've already consulted with Anthony Kolaric and Norwalk Police to make sure that all sort of traffic control and emergency response or management matters are handled in our application. And I'd also like to personally thank Rebecca Kovacs for representing us with Norwalk for a second year.
Thank you. Any questions? Mr. Stowers and Mr. Hughes, if you've got any?
No, not at all.
Committee members? Okay. Well, I'm glad that we can be a stop, a resting place for you during this process. Will there be refreshments and things like that? So you guys will be doing that sort of thing?
Yes, the rest stop consists of 2 10-foot square pop-up tents, prepackaged snacks, and hydration options for bikers. There's also a small cheer section if local residents would like to come out and see us. Some of the riders put on quite a show with costumes, with trailers, with all sorts of celebrations. And we really enjoyed stopping at Matthews Park last year. The Rainbow Crosswalk was a great landmark for us, and we're very happy to see it again.
Great, great. Well, we wish you much success and good weather.
We
All
thank
in favor? Okay, abstentions, okay, unanimous. Have a good evening.
Thank you, and thank you again for your attention.
E, authorize the purchasing agent to issue a sole source purchase order for a 2025 John Deere 310 SJ backhoe for an amount not to exceed $137,519 from account number noted. Would someone move the item, please? Thank you, Ms. Shanahan.
So, Madam Chair, this request is to replace our existing 2008 310 SJ backhoe. We use this machine in all facets of our operation. The old machine now is spending more time in the repair shop than it is actually doing work. We did request this last year and also the year before. So this is the first year that has been funded. So we're excited to get the new machine and put it to work.
Okay. Any questions from committee members? No? All in favor? Okay. Perfect. F, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an agreement with Terry Contracting and Materials, Inc. for project number noted for Veterans Memorial Park Marina docks for a sum not to exceed $4,262,706. Base bid only 8% ship grant. Someone move the item, please. Thank you, Mr. Sutton. Mr. Stowers?
Yeah, this is a long time coming project that Parks and Rec and also engineering and have been working on. And of course, it's the renovation of some of our docks and vets. Both Ken and Dan are here to talk about Dan, of course, the project manager. So I'll give way to them.
Thank you, everyone, Madam Chair, committee members. Obviously, this is a very exciting project. We've gone through the process with our design engineer, Race Coastal, got our DEP and Army Corps permits as necessary for this, and recommend awarding to Terry Contracting for this. They previously performed for the city the transient dock on the other side of Veterans Park, which remains after 7 or 8 years, correct me, Ken, in good condition for that operation. So this project demos the existing docks as they are out there, replaces these with 2 ADA ramps and concrete docks. This will be installed with, new storm rated piles that are epoxy coated and HDPE sleeved for longevity and resilience in its operation.
And Madam Chair, as noted in the agenda item, 80% of this project is being paid for through a SHIPP SHIP grant.
Any questions from committee members? Okay. All in favor? Unanimous? All right. G. Authorize the Chief of Operations and Public Works to execute orders on contract with Terry Contracting and Materials Inc. for project number RNP 2025-1, Veterans Memorial Park Marina Docks, for a sum not to exceed $639,405.90. Account numbers noted. Someone move that item, please. Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
So Madam Chair, as we do in most of our projects, this is sort of a contingency line item in case anything comes up throughout the construction of the marina. We have a little bit of cushion.
Okay. Any questions? All in favor? Okay. It just, I know we just voted on it, but we usually do like a 10%, right? Or so.
Yeah, I believe based on the scope of the project, we did a 15% for this project. There could be some unknowns, what's underwater. So we just want to be sure we don't have to come back to the committee for new approvals.
Okay, perfect. All right. There are no discussion items, so motion to adjourn. Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. Even with your hand up, you beat us all.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Have a good
Okay.
evening.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.